New York, the city that never sleeps. A city of dreams, of ambition, of endless movement. But what happens when even this giant is brought to its knees? From streets once alive with millions to moments of terrifying silence, New York has seen it all. This is not just a story of buildings and bridges. It's a story of resilience, tragedy, and rebirth. Welcome to a journey through time. This is New York, before and after. In the early decades of the 20th century, Manhattan was a city in motion. Between 1920 and 1940, the streets were bursting with life as immigrants poured through Ellis Island, each carrying a dream of a new beginning. In 1920, New York already counted over 5.6 million people, yet the skyline looked nothing like today. The Empire State Building, completed in 1931, was a marvel of its time, towering above streets filled with horse-drawn carriages, early automobiles, and crowds in hats and coats. Broadway glittered with theaters, Harlem pulsed with jazz, and Wall Street buzzed with energy. But life wasn't all just glamour. Tenements in the Lower East Side housed families in cramped rooms, while speakeasies thrived under Prohibition. Visually, Manhattan was a city in transition, from brick buildings and church spires to the first steel giants reaching into the sky. Photographs from the 1920s show a skyline that seems almost modest compared to the glass and steel forest of today. But change was already coming. New York was about to step onto the global stage as a capital of culture, finance, and power. But the city that rose so high would also face moments that brought it painfully low. Two moments in modern history shook New York to its core. September 11th, 2001. A clear blue sky turned into a nightmare as two planes struck the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center. Within 102 minutes, both towers collapsed, killing nearly 3,000 people. The iconic skyline was forever changed. Where two proud giants once stood, only smoke, rubble, and grief remained. But tragedy didn't end there. Less than 2 decades later, another crisis would bring New York to its knees, not with explosions, but with silence. In March 2020, the global pandemic hit New York harder than almost anywhere else. Streets once overflowing with yellow cabs stood eerily empty. Broadway went dark. Times Square, usually alive with 500,000 people a day, was deserted. Sirens echoed as hospitals overflowed. Nearly 46,800 lives were lost to the virus. For the first time in living memory, the unstoppable heartbeat of New York slowed to a whisper. And yet, in both tragedies, one thing remained: resilience. From the ashes of 9/11 and the silence of COVID-19, New Yorkers proved the city cannot be broken. But beyond disaster and survival, the true essence of New York lies in its hidden stories and unforgettable contrasts. New York today is unlike any other place on Earth. Let's step into the facts that reveal its true scale. There are about 195 countries in the world, and yet, in New York, more than 800 languages are spoken, making it the most linguistically diverse city on the planet. The skyline itself is unmatched. 5,800 high-rise buildings, of which 560 to 600 are skyscrapers. Among them stood the Twin Towers at 417 meters. And today, One World Trade Center rises 541.3 meters, the tallest building in the United States. But New York is more than numbers. The city hides unknown yet fascinating places, true secret spots far from the tourist paths, often known only to locals. The Elevated Acre, a hidden park in the financial district with stunning East River views. The Whispering Gallery at Grand Central, where whispers carry magically across the arches. The abandoned City Hall subway station, a breathtaking relic of the past. The Ghost Station at 33rd Street, a forgotten piece of New York's underground. And Greenwood Cemetery in Brooklyn, both a resting place and an open-air museum of history. And as a small fun fact, a rare basketball card of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant recently sold in New York for nearly $13 million, proof that even legends are traded here like treasures. New York has seen glory, silence, and rebirth. From the hopeful crowds of the 1920s, through the tragedies of 9/11 and 2020, to the towering skyline of today, the city carries scars and pride. And if you want to explore another story of tragedy and resilience, don't miss our video on Chernobyl and the ghost city of Pripyat, a place where time itself seems frozen. Every city has a hidden story. Some of them are beautiful, some of them are tragic, and many are still waiting to be uncovered. Stick with Satellite, and together, we'll uncover them all.